welcome back. This is session 6 of our online training, our logistics session. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So in terms of our agenda, we'll review the objectives and then I will spend some time walking through the logistics with you. There will be some parts where you deep dive into some materials and then you'll wrap up this session with your reflection form. So our goal for this session is for you to be able to identify key logistics for running your campus classroom and any lingering questions you might have about these processes. I definitely recommend if you have questions to submit them as part of your reflection form and also to bring them up at the optional online Q&A session in June. All right, so the first part of logistics that we will talk about are program supply kits. So you should have received your pre-work supplies so that you can build projects yourself, but all the other supplies we will be shipping directly to the partner location. This includes most of the handouts, except for a teacher binder where you will have like your teacher guides and some handy resources. We'll ship those to you or give them to you at training. But we will ship all the like physical core supplies like lily pads and makey-makeys and activity supplies and the classroom swag, all of that stuff in a first aid kit to your partner location and they'll store it for you. You'll be able to access the classroom prior to program launch so that way you have the chance to unpack and organize supplies for your space. We do what we can to try and ship you supplies in an organized fashion so that this isn't like a big lift for you. But definitely make sure that you get in there, if possible, beforehand so that way you can feel comfortable knowing that everything is good to go for day one. Typically, you'll do this on the Friday before program launch, but I know that some people are coming in on different days and you can coordinate that with your partner and with your TA. It's really great for you and the TA to go to the classroom together and to meet in person before the first day of the program, or to at least do like a virtual hangout. In terms of student pickup and drop-off, you will coordinate with your partner school to determine the pickup and drop-off location for students. It's also information that we can collect as well from the partner. In terms of pickup, each morning you or the TA should meet students at the pickup or drop-off location and then escort them to the classroom. One of you should stay in the classroom and one of you should be like bringing students in. In terms of drop-off, at the end of the day, you want to walk students out and wait until they're picked up by their parents. If a student's parent is late, you should call their parent or guardian to determine when they're going to be picked up, and you'll have that contact information in the Brightwheel app and also on your student roster. I will talk about the Brightwheel app in a little bit. We will provide you with, this, as I said, a student roster that has all this information. So if a student still hasn't been picked up, you're going to wait inside the classroom with them and take care of other end-of-day tasks until they get picked up. In terms of things like allergies and lunch, all students and you yourself should bring your own lunch to the campus program, so the food they bring should not cause allergic reactions. But sometimes mistakes happen or kids might share food, so be vigilant. In the event of an emergency, please follow our escalation procedures. We will alert you to any student allergies prior to the launch of your program so that you are not caught off guard by anything. But please do not bring or offer food to students because it's very possible they might have an allergy. Our contact information is listed below. It's also on our escalation procedures. In terms of something that's new for this year, a lot of people did this naturally, but we built it in to make sure it happens in every classroom. There are 2 scheduled 15-minute breaks every day of campus, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and you should always take at least 2 breaks during the day. You can decide to take them earlier or maybe a little bit later or more often, depending on the needs of your girls, but you should always take at least 2. Prioritize this over trying to squeeze content in. People need a break from the computer, and a fresh perspective will help girls feel more energized as they're working. There's going to be a bank of break ideas on HQ in your teacher toolkit that you can use to make the most of the time. This will include things like quick games, minute to win it challenges that you can do with girls. It kind of depends on the vibe in your room and what they're interested in. Good alternatives or other things you can do during break time are go on a quick walk, get some fresh air, move around, let people take care of biological breaks and stuff like that. But the point is to like get up and get a little bit of a change of scenery or change of pace. We already mentioned this, but I want to just reinforce again that you and students should complete daily feedback on HQ each day of campus. On the very last day, you'll do the end of program survey, which I'll talk about later. But please make sure that you have reviewed student feedback and completed your own before you leave at the end of the day at 5 p.m. This is so we can respond to any red button issues in a timely fashion. Something that's new for this year and that we hope is fun and a positive way to end the day is called the Daily Photo Challenge. This is optional, but you and students can complete a daily photo challenge, and this is shared on the slides and in HQ each day of campus because each day has a different theme and hashtag that you can use. Photos that you take can be shared with parents on the Brightwheel app, which we'll talk about in a little bit, the campus Slack channel, and on Instagram. One thing that I want to note is to please set clear expectations for phone usage with this. So this is shared in the photo challenge instructions on HQ as reminders for girls. Encourage them to take photos during breaks, lunch, or at the end of the day. If there's an action photo like working on a project, go ahead and give girls a clear time frame and reminder to take the photo. So maybe it's like for the next 15 minutes, it's okay to have your phones out and be taking photos while we're working on our projects or something like that. We'll talk a little bit more about photo taking when we discuss the Brightwheel app. But hopefully this is a fun way for girls to kind of document their experience and celebrate new friendships. As I've been mentioning, we have a new tool called Brightwheel. It's an app that we will be using to help increase parent engagement in their students' campus experience, and to also help mitigate safety and risks throughout the tools, through the tool's administrative capabilities. So, for example, you're going to be taking student attendance with this tool, which is really, really helpful. Each campus team is going to be using the Brightwheel app to do the following things. So, take daily attendance, share photos and videos with parents during the program, send scripted daily program updates to parents, share program and student-specific reminders with parents as needed. But I do want to note, not all parents will necessarily be on Brightwheel, but the parent contact info will be included with your student roster. So sometimes you might have to reach out to a parent by calling them or emailing them and not through the app. We're really going to push parents to be on the Brightwheel app in hopes that most classrooms have 100% enrollment, but we can't guarantee it. And then the last thing will be inviting parents to the campus demo day. You're going to dive into the Brightwheel use plan in a moment, but I just want to really emphasize when you are taking photos or videos of students in the classroom, it's really important that you model great phone usage and you're not on your phone the whole time to do this. Make sure you're in the moment and enjoying the experience and part of the experience. It's okay to maybe for a really cool sisterhood activity, take a photo or a video of it, but don't make it a habit to do it every day during the sisterhood activity. It's important that like girls see you being involved and engaged in modeling that great behavior. So what I'd like for you to do is you're going to review the Brightwheel use plan. It's shared in the teacher toolkit and it's linked here. And it's also printed in your teacher binders, which you may or may not have by this point. But as you're reviewing the use plan, I want you to think about what questions you might have about Brightwheel, what you're nervous about with Brightwheel, and what you're excited about with Brightwheel. And then once you're done looking through the use plan, there are a few short videos that Brightwheel has created to introduce you to how to use the app. They're less than 10 minutes total to watch, so go ahead and watch those as well. And if you're a teaching assistant or a TA, you will be responsible for doing a lot of the different components of Brightwheel, including like uploading videos and taking attendance and things like that. So it's important you feel comfortable using the app. So go ahead and pause this and review the use plan and watch the training videos. Then come back. Okay. Now that you've looked at the use plan, we're ready to transition on to talking about one of our new features of campus this year, which is our field trips. So to mix things up in week 2 and give girls some great experiences outside of the classroom, we have, and by we I mean Jasmine, has been planning amazing field trips that are scheduled for day 7, which is the Tuesday of week 2. They generally will start at 10 a.m. and will last between 2 to 3 hours. So some examples of field trips might include college campus tours or visits to tech labs on campus and things like that. Could be office tours, lunch and panels at tech companies. They might include hands-on activities that will be prepared by the field trip host. You don't need to prepare activities for that day. You'll be connected with your field trip host and receive all the transportation logistics 1 week before your field trip. And then we'll have a field trip checklist for you that you can use to ensure that your visit is safe and fun. Your job will be to make sure that kids are safe and where they should be, help encouraging them to ask great questions and make the most of the experience. And then on day 7, we'll also actually give you different daily feedback surveys to complete so that you can give us feedback on how these experiences went, because this is new for us. So we have, so we want to make sure that we're learning from what worked well and what didn't work well. But we're very excited about these. I also wanted to mention end of program surveys. So both you and students will take the end of program survey on the last day. It's about 15 minutes to complete. For students, they take it in the middle of the day. And then for you, you'll take it at the end of the day. We use this data to improve our curriculum and our program. We really, really appreciate the feedback and take it very much to heart and use it to drive changes. Like, for example, having field trips and using teacher guides and other things like that. These are all ideas we get out of some of the feedback that comes from end of program surveys. It's really important that you make sure every student completes the survey. A couple of other final day reminders that I wanted to point out. Students are going to be uploading their team project to the Girls Who Code gallery, and I'm so excited because this year our project gallery will be an incorporated part of HQ. In the past it was through WordPress and it was a lot more cumbersome to do, so this will be a lot more streamlined and simple and should only take 10 to 15 minutes for teams to do. Girls will also create a poster and present their final projects on demo day. You can invite parents to attend the presentations and we'll give you messaging for that to share via Brightwheel and email. Girls will also receive a program completion certificate, and this is included in your program supply kit and linked on HQ. We ask that you complete or fill these out with their names and your signature on Thursday. You can do it earlier if you'd like, but by Thursday so that they're ready to be given out on Friday. Some important things related to getting paid. All hourly staff must log and submit their hours via Namely this year. It's our payroll system and our human resources system. Girls Who Code will log and submit all your hours for training, including this online training. So you do not need to submit any hours through Namely for training or pre-work. You'll be paid for training on Friday, the June 14th. If you're a returner, you will also receive your bonus in this paycheck. Instructions for logging hours are linked here in the slides, and you can also watch a video linked in the slides about how to do that. We recommend that you enter your hours daily. At the very least, hours must be entered by the end of the last day of the pay period in order to be approved on time. If you're watching this video earlier in May, then you won't even have access to Namely yet, and that's okay. We will be sharing information with you again about how to do that once your program actually starts. During the program, we've built in prep and cleanup time into your working hours. So we ask you to be there from 8 to 5 p.m. and we really don't want you to work outside of these hours without first getting approval from the campus team. So those are the hours that we'll be looking for you to have logged. You should have logged your hours from 8 to 5 p.m. and then Jasmine and myself will review and approve your hours. Working this from 8 to 5 days a week, everyone will actually get 5 hours of overtime each week of the program. Some resources that I just wanted to point you to that you might want to be able to reference is we will send out program launch and program wrap-up email reminders as we get closer to the summer. There are so many things on HQ, and we share a lot of things via Slack as well. Your instructor toolkit has lots and lots of resources, and the Slack channel is a great way to ask questions of us or other teachers in the program. I've relinked the instructions guide in the video for Namely, and then each of you will get a teacher binder that includes a daily checklist for each day of the program with important reminders of things you should do in the morning and in the afternoon. A field trip guide and checklist, the Brightwheel use plan, you'll have a physical copy of it, and then the escalation guide. You'll also get all of your teacher guides already printed and included in that teacher binder as well. So at this point, go ahead and you can complete your session reflection form. If you want, you can also scroll back through the slides before you complete it. And thank you.